You're lost.
I know. No, we had a board in house and a house board. We've been board in house.
All right.
I forgot. I'll bring it to her.
Hey, how are you? Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, how are you? Commissioner. How are y'all?
I'm gonna remove this.
He's in what? I thought you said crisis. I was like,
He might be. I'm not sure, but he's not here.
okay, well, this will be the last time we have to approve you to get that back. If we're gonna send it, that's what they told us up there. Anyway, today we're going to, so, oh, thank you. Got it?
Oh,
Another day.
You know, and I didn't have to work today, and I have fun because I have to drive around and do different stuff, and I played in the snow. I was trying to scare Jordan and tell him I was going to get his truck and trailer. I got too
Oops. Hey, it's all right.
I did it.
Didn't hit it.
Right
Didn't
down, like right here. It was hilarious though. His face was just priceless. It's weird how rooms get quiet.
Well, I played in the snow today too, but no,
In the way you want to.
yeah, it wasn't my choice.
Well, I went there to Burma and Costa Hill and all that. And like, I don't know.
For a night when I wasn't sure anybody was gonna be here, we had an area packed out.
Or that's 614. Okay, I'll take care of it.
Thank you so much.
So we did have to resend a different ordinance because we didn't have it advertised to a company. Yeah.
sometimes he would text me, is my phone not on? I'd say no. And then it would just go from there.
Senior citizen. You are, you must be someone from the Philippines. You know what's going on. Side by side.
It is quiet.
Case in point.
Comes up familiar face.
Just because I know there's a lot.
I
Since I
won't-
was in fifth grade.
I won't quite recite it that way. Because I have no real so,
That's how the lyrics said. And then you can say, so doesn't it, this is probably for fifth grade.
that's right. Is everybody ready? We're getting close.
Oh, good.
We're gonna go on a quick pace before it freezes up. Or go.
If we don't, it's our fault.
Okay, all right.
Blame God.
We'll blame it, that's right.
3 minutes
This
public comment.
District 2 is in effect.
Yes, I'm gonna start my timer.
Okay. All right, here we go. I call this regular session of the Lovington City Commission to order. Shannon, roll call, please.
Mayor Roberts,
I'm here.
Commissioner White,
Here.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Here.
Commissioner Ramon,
Here.
Commissioner Perry.
Here.
Okay. You'll join us in our invocation. Bow your heads. Father God, we just thank you for a wonderful day. We appreciate the moisture that you've sent. Father, we ask that you continue to watch over our citizens as we're traversing these icy roads. For those that are traveling, please take them to their destination safely. Father, we just ask that throughout this night as the weather begins to freeze, that we recognize that and everyone stays home safe and warm. Father, we ask that you join us in this meeting tonight, impart wisdom and knowledge to us, to help us make good decisions for our community. Father, thank you for those that attend today, and we also ask that you provide safe passage home for them. Through Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. You may be seated. Excuse me. All right.
So just
All right.
as usual,
Yeah, as usual tonight, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as is with the removal of Finance Department Report Ed Fierro.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for approval of the agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for consideration of minutes of January 12, 2026.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for approval of the minute. Any further discussion, corrections, additions? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon.
Yes.
Okay, before we move on to the next item, which is our staff report, I'm just gonna let everyone in the audience know we're changing things up just a little bit. Okay, so if you're here for comment, and I have a sheet here, that's one of the new changes. If you're here for public comment on non-agenda items, it means things that are not on here, then we're gonna proceed with that. if the items are on the agenda, please wait till we're discussing that, and I will ask at that time for public comment. So I've got the list. It looks like we're gonna have
One more person.
one more. Okay. Oof. Okay. I'm gonna try. Marie? Oh, okay. Sorry. We're gonna, I've never seen you write it that way before. Okay. What's your topic?
The sale of property on Chavez Street.
Okay. When we get to that, then I will talk. All right. Sounds good. The other two that are here, which would be Mr. and Mr. Boydston. I will call you for comment in the public comment time. Any questions before we move on? All right. The regular rules apply at that point. All right. This brings us to our commissioners and staff report. Ms. Shannon.
I have nothing for the staff report tonight.
Okay. All right. Ms. Noah.
I do not have anything either.
Okay, we're moving right along. Everybody's keeping, we're ready to get out of here, all right? Police chief.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager. We started an officer Sunday at the academy, which is day 0. So he had to endure the snow on day 0. We just signed the contract or the grant for New Mexico DOT Highway Safety Funds. So we'll be working the NDWI, the buckle up, and the step, and the distracted driving. These next, all the way up to September is when the grant expires. And we'll have 3 applicants that'll be trying out for the physical workout on Thursday at 2 o'clock. If anybody wants to come out and see what that's about. And then Detective Brady has a couple things that we're working on.
Good evening, Detective.
I just wanted to inform you guys on a few of the upcoming community events that the PD will be participating in. The Collaborative 5 pop-up was rescheduled. That was supposed to be held on Friday, but due to the weather, it got rescheduled. That's a collaboration between the Community Drug Coalition and other nonprofits in the community. The Hometown Heroes project was going to purchase the burgers, that's the banner program. They were gonna purchase burgers, and the police department honor guard was going to cook the burgers for everyone. It's been rescheduled to February 27th from 11 to 3 p.m. We're still gonna do the burgers. The police department is still gonna cook that day. It's gonna be held at the senior center still. They're gonna have free health and wellness information, and other nonprofits are gonna be there to give information out as well. We're planning on feeding the senior citizens at the senior center, and also the 1600 Avenue I.
Low developer.
Yes, sorry. Blank. But we're planning on feeding them as well, and it's a free community event for the whole community. We're just hoping we get some people to come out and have time with the seniors and just talk about things. Also that day on February 27th, the PD will be participating in Llanos Elementary Health and Safety Day. We've done it for the past 3 years. We usually discuss the importance of knowing when to dial 911 and other safety measures for in the home for kindergartners to understand. After we do, it's kind of like an around the world event where the teachers come in with their group one at a time. It's about a 20-minute segment. And then we open up the units and let them walk around the units, usually like that, looking inside. It's like touch a truck basically. So we'll be doing that as well that day. It's going to be a busy Friday. The remaining members of the Lovington Police Department Honor Guard are scheduled to attend the National Honor Guard Academy in Eddy County in February. Completion of this training by all members will have us nationally accredited. So that's coming up, and that was purchased through the grant that was provided from the state earlier, or middle of last year.
Okay.
Light It Up Blue is quickly approaching, and the PD has signed up for a booth to help raise money for LACES. We're going to be raffling off a toy police car along with rides in the Lee County Fair Parade and the Christmas Parade. The winner also will get a ride to school lights and sirens. Our winner last year, he loved it. He was a pre-K-er at Yano, and he loved it. His aunt says she's already saving money so that she can bid again this year for him. In December, I attended DARE training in Ruidoso. I'm gonna be working with the school administrators to bring that program back into the schools and into the community. We're hoping, Chief and I are hoping to speak with Mr. Miranda and Mr. Fierro in reference to using opioid funds, because it does fit the criteria for use of the opioid funds. So we're hoping to get that started here soon and start the DARE program for the community and the schools in August of next year. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Detective Sergeant, have we coordinated with the senior center and Lovington Healthcare about the 27th? Do we
Yes.
know?
Yes, the Community Drug Coalition has coordinated with them, so it's all set up to go again, and hopefully we won't have the weather.
Questions? Thank you, appreciate it.
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay, just checking.
I'm spending most of my time letting her speak.
Gotcha. Fire chief.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, so right now we're in the process of filling the last open position. We have tested a guy, matter of fact, he's going through the hiring process. That should hopefully be filled, done this week, so we'll be full. Our crews did stay busy during the bad weather. Sometimes people still, wanna get out.
No.
With roads being in the condition that they were, we did have, transfers with Norley were delayed. I still think over the weekend, we ended up still taking 3 on Saturday and Sunday together, so we still ended up taking some. We're, matter of fact, out on one right now. Also during the storm, Fire Marshal Ritchie, he coordinated with the county, and continued like weather watch and road conditions and stuff. They continued going out, and he also updated everybody on the forecast through the National Weather Service and kept all those. So I appreciate him for doing that. We've started a in-house EMT intermediate class. The fire department hasn't put on their own intermediate class in, I'm gonna say, probably 15, 16 years. The college did not want to do an intermediate class this semester. They wanted to wait till August. We've got 7 students who needed it, so we're doing our own in-house intermediate with 7 students.
Chief,
And yes, sir.
did we coordinate that to move the training to the mornings because with the transfers being in?
So right now it hasn't interfered, and we have the ability to change it as we need. If it starts to interfere with any of Norley with transfers and stuff, then we have the ability to change that.
Thank you, sir.
And then we will have 2 students who will start the basic class February 2nd at the junior college. Other than that, I will stand for any questions.
Questions? Sounds good, thank you. Commissioner Rodriguez, do you have anything to say?
I have nothing this evening. I have anything this evening.
You have anything?
That's how you.
Commissioner Ramon, have you anything?
I have anything. No, I have nothing tonight.
Commissioner White?
I'm good.
Commissioner Perry?
Less than Commissioner Rodriguez.
Okay, all right. City manager, it's your time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Ed Fierro's coming in tomorrow. He's in Las Cruces. Michael Betancourt is in Seminole. So the GRT number for November 2025 came in at $995,889.04 compared to $909,000 for the same month in the prior year. Once again, retail and construction were the top sectors. I'm happy to mention that the city's second fiscal quarter DFA report was submitted to DFA over the weekend, 1 week early.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, city officials met with engineers from Souter Miller to discuss the first phase of the grant-sponsored rehabilitation of our wastewater treatment plant. This stage of the project involves replacement of the underground air tubes, which are cavitating and producing less airflow to the basins for processing waste. We will replace them with above-ground aeration tubes and move the pumps closer to the basins, and this stage alone is projected to cost over $1.2 million. For the first time in recent memory, the city has not had to ask for reauthorization of any of our capital outlay grants, which would probably be denied anyway, as the state is increasingly requiring entities to execute grants on a timely basis, although sometimes 2 years is not enough time given production timeline lags. Just a note for the public, the utility bills that went out yesterday or Friday have the wrong due date on them. They say that it's due January 15th. Obviously, they're due on February 15th. We apologize for that error. Letters were sent out to the utility customers in English and Spanish with this month's bills regarding the 4.9% increase by Waste Management, which will be passed along to customers. When I questioned that figure, since the overall broader CPI index was only 2.7% for the same period, I learned that Waste Management bases their calculations on the more specific CPI index relating to waste and trash, which can vary by region, but which was higher than the general CPI due to labor and operational costs. Next week, several commissioners and city officials will be in Santa Fe for the New Mexico Municipal League's annual training and to lobby our state legislators for capital outlay funding. The city of Lovington receives on average between $2 and $3 million in capital outlay funding annually, thanks to our local state legislators. The city's first strategic planning session in 11 years will take place on March 18th and 19th, and city officials and key stakeholders will be asked to participate and give critical input to map out the city's direction for the next 3 years. As people may have seen today, we now have a sign-in sheet for those members of the public wishing to participate in public comments and the discussion of various topics. As the commissioners have expressed their desire to move towards a more professional and efficient meeting setting, I would remind citizens in the audience to please maintain decorum. The police chief is officially the sergeant at arms at our meetings, and he will enforce decorum and proper procedure. Finally, I wish to thank our city workers for their hard work this weekend during the snow and ice storm, from maintaining the streets and the city buildings to keeping our water and wastewater systems running, assisting motorists and other tasks, some working all night in the cold. They performed admirably, and our city should be proud of them. And I'd be happy to stand for any questions.
Question? Well, I would like to second that our city workers were efficient in doing their best to clear the roads and clean the sidewalks and various items, so we appreciate it.
On that note, Mr. Mayor, would you want to mention anything about the warming station?
I am, as soon as we get through, I'm actually going to jump right in.
That's all.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Ball.
Mayor and Commissioners, I will be bringing in resolutions next month for the NMDOT TPF grants for FY27. One of the grants I'm writing for, which I hope to get this year because we've wrote for it for the last 3 years, and they usually say 3 to 4 years you'll finally get the grant. So that is rehabilitation of East Jackson from Main to Eddy, North 6th Street from Jefferson to Adams, East Harrison from Main to Love, West Avenue I from 2nd to 9th Street, East Avenue R from Main to Commercial. It's approximately $1.7 million project with a 5% match of $90K from the city. Another one would be reconstruction and ADA sidewalk improvements. That's a capital project. We did the design a few years ago on 9th Street from Avenue D to K to add sidewalks in that area. We have students walking that road all the time and there's hardly any sidewalks. Being that we just got a capital grant for Jackson Street last year, we probably won't get this, but again, once you write for it consecutively for 3 to 4 years, you're likely to get it at that point. I do have to decide on another project to write a design for. I don't think we'll write for it this year just because you do have 3 to 4 years on the one we're trying to get. But probably next year would be good to write for it. and I wanted your opinions on, where you need more ADA sidewalk and street improvement like we're doing with, like we did with Jackson and like we're gonna do with Ninth are needed. Cause that's the type of thing we need to design. I was thinking Love Street from Avenue D to Jefferson would be a good one to have the ADA sidewalks put in on. Central from Main to Ninth, it's another one to have good ADA sidewalks put in, it's highly used. Just to think in that rounds and kind of come up with something, if you want to get with me on that any other time.
And on that note, I mentioned to Crystal, and the mayor, I think, agreed with me, is that the commissioners will be more involved in the future in terms of selecting what streets might need to be redone by nature of your constituents speaking to you, so it'll be an open dialogue, but we're just too late for this year's projects, but next year we'll have that dialogue.
Yeah, so definitely, if you have roads that you're getting complaints on, definitely let me know, because that's where we come up with what roads we're repairing, what we've done in the past, and me and the street department, and any complaints we've gotten, that's where we work on. That's why Fifth Street was redone, because the potholes there were having to be filled in every week. You know, they were just always, so that's why we redid that section. So your complaints and knowing of your areas helps us decipher these. We also need to look at MAP and LGRF grants. Those are other grants that have a 25% match for the city. And I'm looking at maybe West Van Buren, 9th to 13th, West Harrison from 6th to 9th, West Adams from 5th to 9th, or East Avenue C from Main to East Street. Those are noted some of the 4 really bad streets that me and the street department have noted. If you have others, I need to get these grants written, and we gotta get pre-approval on them next month. So if you have any suggestions for those, the MAP and LGRF are very small grants. The TPF are always 2 million and above grants. But these are small, like under 200K, 250s max usually they give out on those 2 grants. So it has to be pretty small sections of roads. And it's usually just a rehab, like I did on 5th Street. That one was a $200,000 project. The grant was $149 from the state, and we paid $50 of it. So.
And if the commissioners want a list of the projects that are gonna go forward to see if they're in their districts, we can provide copies of that.
Yeah, please. Just let me know. And then I'm also working with the grant writer on a federal build grant. This grant is to help create the design for a new intersection of Gum and Commercial Street on Highway 82. What we want is we want to have Gum tie in to where Commercial heads south. We want Gum to tie in right there. We want to acquire some property and tie in and make that a good intersection to get the truck traffic away from the hospital's emergency access on Deirdre. This is something me and the mayor have discussed many times before. So me and the grant writer are trying to get a federal grant to make this project start coming to fruition. Albertson's come along. They're gonna have their hiring event at the Troy Harris this week, actually. It's the 29th through the 31st. And then they're doing, Evelyn,
She's right.
oh, okay, they're gonna do their ribbon cutting, right, on Thursday, March the 5th.
Yeah,
Correct.
but it's a private, it's by invitation only.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
Okay.
It's the same.
the commission will be receiving invitations for that, and there was a list that was distributed to them, but it's a private,
Okay,
ribbon cutting.
thank you. And then the Wendy's project is planning on breaking ground at the end of this week, where they're permitting, so, you know, we're just, you may have noticed they have the fence up, their equipment should start arriving. We also have the baby box at Fire Station 2 is going through the state process, permitting process right now, so we hope to get that project kicked off soon. And then I would like to start having discussions on code rewrites for Chapter 17. So if any of you have any thoughts on that, please meet with me and get with me on that. Me and Miranda have visited with Consensus Planning. We're gonna try to start getting things together to get with them to get a price together on that. Okay, yeah, Chapter 17 is the zoning, and permitting, which is basically one of my main sections of the thing. One of the big things I want to look at is changing the setbacks on carports. That is one of our biggest variances that we grant, is that front setback. When I redid Jackson, I had 2 carports that had to be adjusted. And the only reason 2 of them had to be adjusted, several of them had variances to be to the property line. There was 2 that didn't have a variance and they were over property line. So they had to cut them back to property line, but then none of the rest of them were in the way. Even if they were built to property line, we were able to do that project with no issues. So many people have no front yards, not enough to have a 5-foot setback and a carport that's gonna cover their 4-door truck, right? Just not enough room. So that's another one I wanna look at when we do rewrite this code ordinance. And I'll stand for any questions if you have any.
Questions?
No, sir.
That was a lot of information. We appreciate it. All right, counselor.
All right, Mayor and Commissioners don't have anything new to report at the meeting. I may have some comments on 2 of the items, one in non-action and one in action, but I'd be happy to stand for any questions if you have them.
Okay, questions?
No.
Good enough.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving on. All right, I'm gonna take just this moment. Over the weekend, I was honored to be a part of the warming station. That was a collaboration between effectively Norley Hospital and Heart's Desire. We have maintained oversight from Friday evening, starting about 6 o'clock, all the way through today. We are going to continue tonight. We've had several participation, or people participating, from the community that are either, some of them are literally homeless, some of them were without heating, some without water, various things. Norley did an amazing job. They provided meals, they provided a lot of coverage. The city also was able to help in a lot of the coverage. We try to maintain a male and a female attendant, just basically to stop any liabilities that could arise. Fortunately, or maybe this is just the way it is, the attendants were very gracious. They were very happy that we provided this, and at that, we are continuing for sure today. Do we have a schedule for tomorrow?
No, we're ending it at noon if it gets to 32.
If it gets to 32, all right, then we're gonna end at noon tomorrow. However, there is a gap tonight from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's not a long gap, but I am looking for anybody that's willing to come and sit tonight, and I will relieve you, Allison, I will relieve you at 4 o'clock. So right now, that's the only gap we've got until the completion of this project. Anyway, with that, again, I want to thank everyone that's participated. The city had a lot of volunteers, and we appreciate everyone stepping up and helping. Mr. Miranda and I covered Friday night. I was there from 12 to 8. He came in and helped me stay awake from 3 to 8 or so. And anyway, the nice thing is, gave us the time. It was very quiet. We got to talk about a lot of things and upcoming additions to the city. So again, it's been a great thing for the community. There was several people that were very happy to get out of the cold, and I look forward. We have talked about it today about how we're going to be able to maintain this in the future. So anyway, with that, we will be moving on now into our public comment time. This is comments on non-agenda items again. Please come to the podium, state your name, tell us what you'd like us to hear. You get 3 minutes or less. And this is going to be kind of starting to enforce, just so you know, again, a lot of changes going to be going on with our meetings this year. If there's a lot of people for the same topic, we may have to shut the time down just a little bit and try not to just keep repeating the same thing. Tonight we've just got a couple of participants, so I open the podium to them. Either one of the Boydstons, y'all are welcome to come up. And
my name's Tim Borston Jr. I'd like to speak about the 18-wheelers. Doing a pretty good job, I see on the 18-wheelers, we just have a slight problem over on Second and Brian Erlacher. They're ignoring that sign over there,
You're right, they are.
you know. So, and also I'd like to give props to Lee County Electric this weekend. I lost power at my house. Within 30 minutes after losing power, my power came back up.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Mhm.
Mayor, Commissioners, my name is Jim Boyston, and I would like to commend the city for the last meeting complained about all the alleys and everything else. And that my alley and a few other ones in my neighborhood got done. And I'd like to pass on to the street department. I appreciate it very much. You know, with that, I would like to know why the city is so crippled right now that none of the streets, residential streets, are they still have snow on them, like
Salted, or
They're-
whatever.
and they were never plowed like they were in previous years. You know, they plowed the streets and everything else when we had big storms. I know of several residents, senior citizens who have cars, not trucks, not SUV, but cars that still cannot get out of the street.
Call us will help.
Huh?
Call us will help. Take them out.
Okay, most of them are, I don't know where exactly where they live, but it's their streets. I will make an appointment with you because I'm a little confused on the sign-in sheet.
No
I
problem.
was told one way, and now it's becoming something different. I tried to explain earlier about it, and I rudely cut off like a child. And since I'm a senior and I'm retired military, I don't appreciate that. From now on, I will make, if this will be professional, I will make an appointment to see somebody, whether, and it doesn't matter what department.
Mr. Mayor,
This
I have a question regarding that in terms of proper procedure.
Okay.
People wishing to speak during public comment on items not on the agenda must sign up for public comment. What about people wishing to comment on discussion and/or action items?
Okay. That's all right. This is perfect time to ask that.
Yeah, because I was told one thing and
It's
becoming
okay.
something else.
What we're gonna do is on agenda items, during that, during that discussion and our action,
Mhm.
okay? Then I will ask sometime before we, if it's an action item, sometime before we vote. If it's a discussion item sometime before moving off of that discussion item, I will ask for public comment. Now, I'm gonna ask you to keep it, not you, it's just a.
Yeah, I know,
Okay. Under a minute.
Do they need to sign up for that, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
No, you don't need to sign up for that.
Okay, because I was told I had to sign up for something like a public comment time, which is fine. I was also told with what's on the agenda, that all I have to, if that topic came up, all I have to do is raise my hand and you would call on us. And then tonight, I was rudely told I had to sign up for both of them regardless, and I couldn't finish my whole statement.
Okay.
So,
Are you clear? No.
so now we're going to,
This time that we're currently in will be for non-agenda items.
right,
Okay? When we get to the others, whether it's discussion or action, I will ask, raise your hand, come up, give us
okay,
whatever.
you got it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you very much.
All right, those are the only people I have. I realize this is the first night. I don't want you to feel excluded. If you have something for public comment, please come up. If you don't, then we'll leave the public comment just to the agenda items. And the ex-Commissioner Gandy, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. I see no one jumping up, so we're moving on.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes,
Can I
sir.
say something since I didn't sign up, or I gotta make?
No, that's what I'm saying. Right now, I'm gonna open it up because it's new. It's new, but we're gonna, from now on, we're gonna basically stick to what we're saying, so. Go ahead, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My name is David Munoz. I live on 806 West Jackson. I would like to see if I could get a speed bump put on corner of 8th on the west side. Because, we have a lot of heavy traffic and I'm afraid that during school hours, like between the hours of 3:15 to about 4 o'clock, they think it's a place to race or just a place to speed. And we have a lot of kids that live, from Jackson all the way back to Pope, where we have actually a crosswalk there, but nobody's paying attention to the sign. And I would hate for a child to get hit, so I
Does it
just,
need to be painted? Is it dark? The
ma'am,
crosswalk, does it need to be painted?
it could be painted, but it's not, to me, if you don't see the sign, you're not gonna see the street.
Right.
Because you're not really,
We
They're
have
just
some that are
speeding,
really
so.
black, so that's why I was.
so I'm just saying, if they could put a speed bump for me, it would slow the traffic down
On Jackson or on 8?
on Jackson and corner of where I live, because the crosswalk is there,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, across Jackson or across 8th Street?
across Jackson. If possible, it's just something that,
Can I comment? A lot of those, you also have to think, are emergency thoroughfares.
Yep.
For police and fire and ambulance. So that's why a lot of reason those aren't there. And I make this not because I'm saying we're gonna fly down those roads, but those roads, if you have a broken hip or you have a problem and we're having to go across these bumps, going to the hospital with the patients, that does,
Ambulance.
I hope you never have to experience it. I'm just,
I
because
have
the ambulance comes by the house all
bumps
the
in the
time.
road, when you're in
Ambulances are
pain,
horrible.
is excruciating.
If I can play devil's advocate to that,
Go ahead, and I've got a solution.
the
Go ahead,
main
sir.
artery used by police and EMS has the biggest speed bump in the city, and that's Love Street by the
I
courthouse.
agree, and it
So
is,
just,
no, I agree with that.
It's horrible.
Commissioner Rodriguez asked me a couple weeks ago, we have ordered 2 speed bumps, and they can be adjusted as to how high they are, as to how much of an impact we make. But the best thing about these speed bumps is they're temporary, they can be taken out if it's,
We
So-
also,
Go ahead, chief.
we also could put a stop sign there if we so.
Well, that or a school zone's what I was thinking about. If we put a school zone area,
Making school zones.
I'm
there's
sorry.
a yellow children crossing, but it's further down by like 6th, right? By-
Well, there's one there.
It's right there on 9th Street,
There is
we have
one.
one
That's
there.
why
There's
we
another
might
one.
need a paint.
That doesn't slow them down.
Is it blinking?
No,
No.
just yellow.
Just a
It's just-
regular.
It's just a regular.
Well, now, so we don't have, maybe we need to reduce the speed right there during those hours. Would help.
That's basically
Make
what
a
I'm saying,
school
yes.
zone right
A
there.
true zone, yes,
Basically from
not
3rd
just
to 8th right
across.
there.
Take this sign.
There's a lot of kids in that area.
Okay,
Take this sign.
first of all, I'm not cutting you off on that, but that's something that we're probably gonna put on either the next agenda or whatever, but we will move on this. And it's duly noted, and I think everybody's in agreement that that's an item we really need to bring up, so,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Real quick, just to follow up with what he said, your solution was a school zone, but as it stands right now, I mean, most people don't follow them to begin with. On Main Street and D Street, the signs will be flashing, people fly right through there 10 above the speed limit. So I think if we're gonna do that, we might need to consider some extra enforcement if that's possible. That's my only comment on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
My name is Joseph Aguirre.
I'm sorry, yes. All right. Anyone else before we move on? Thank you very much. All right, brings us to our non-action items. First, item is, Ms. Ball, sale of the city-owned property on North Chavez.
So we have these properties that the city owns. There's 6 lots on one block, and then a single lot on a block just north of it in the 700 block of North Chavez.
Okay.
We've had several entities contact us about this. EDC's been contacted about these lots. We have people that want to put housing on these lots, or build a home on these lots, or place a mobile home on these lots. So we have quite a bit of interest in these lots. What we're needing to know from the city, the grant writers wanting to know how to write the RFP. Did the city want to sell these, or did the commissioners want to sell these individually? Which is how we've been asked that they be sold, so that way we can, several bidders have the chance to buy one. Or do you want to sell them as a whole section, right, one whole thing? The lot 7, up by itself in the 700 block would have to be sold by itself, because it couldn't be sold with the others anyways, but, due to the restraints on how she writes the RFP, the request for bid, she needs to know that information and approximately how much you guys want. The lots will be, get an appraisal. We'll have to get appraisal on them. The state requires that in the process.
Okay. Go ahead, City Manager.
I'm sure the commissioners are aware of it, but this touches on the delicate subject of putting more residential housing in a commercial zone.
That was gonna be my next question, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Because the way our zoning's written, you're allowed to put a home in a commercial zone.
I understand.
Yeah, so it has to meet setbacks,
Yeah.
and it has
And
to
it's
abide
hard
by
to
the
get insurance.
requirements of a home.
Okay. Commissioners, y'all have any input here?
Well, I guess the only input that I have is, are we trying to define if it's gonna be residential or commercial?
Well, that's what we could put in the RFP. By the zoning, I can't tell somebody what they can and can't do, unless it's not allowed, right? I can't tell them they can't put a home there, or they can't put a business there, because both of those things are allowed. But if we write an RFP specifically for housing, then in the bid, they would have to put that they are going to build or buy a home to place on the lot. And that would be at you guys' discretion on how the request for bid is written.
You can't do that, can you, Patrick? You just have to sell it as a lot.
Well, I think you could take into consideration maybe how, if somebody has a plan. The problem there is gonna be if we're selling it for fair market value or somewhere close, we're looking at appraised value. We generally don't have the same kind of clawback restrictions you would see if we sold, let's say, the property where Drylands was located.
Mhm.
That went extremely cheap, but we got some clawback and said, this is what you're gonna do. So, when we look at a situation like this, it's hard to sell at the going rate and then have restrictions on that, as opposed to, you could go somewhere else and buy a lot and not have restrictions about what you wanna build on there, so, as long as it comes within the zoning. But it's a very good point. If you take a look, at the, property that's just on the west side of that alley from the lots, it's not been that long ago that we've had, a number of people come in and complain, hey, I live there, or I live in this neighborhood, trucks start, they warm them up at 4 a.m., I don't like it, what can you do? And so that's something we really need to think about. Are you gonna sell those lots and say, hey, we'd like you to build houses, and then have to deal with the issue of, now you're next to a trucking company, which is doing what it's supposed to be doing or can be doing in that zoning. So that really needs to be something we think about. We just set ourselves up.
Does it perpetuate a problem that we haven't solved yet?
Yeah.
That's kind of what my thoughts are is,
Houses with semis.
I'm sorry?
Houses with semis.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if we're gonna advertise those lots, if you decide to do that, I think the only real restriction we could have or input would be they've gotta comply with the existing zoning. And then we'll have to deal with that as, you know, as it comes down the pike.
Are they surveyed for their subdivision?
No, we'll get all that done.
Okay.
Do they have water and sewer?
There is water and sewer in the alley.
Okay. For all 7?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, the other thing to consider is, let's say, for example, somebody wanted to put a business in there and they wanted all 6 lots. How are we gonna deal with, maybe somebody offers X for lots 1 through 5 and 2X for 6, and then we have someone else that offers a package for all 6. So that's something to take a look at also. Are we selling them individually? Are we selling them, you take them all or none? So just some things to consider.
Do you have just roughly a size on the lots as they sit right now?
They are 50 by 140 foot lots. Each one.
So they meet the requirement for mobile homes?
Yep.
How many other residents are just in that little?
Most of that in that area is residential, except for there's 2 on Eddy Street. There's 2 trucking yards there, and then you have the Benny Binge old trucking yard there between Commercial and Chapas. And the rest of those are residential homes.
Is that his RV park that's across the street?
Yeah, that's his RV park,
Excuse me.
and
Is
then his
that-
trucking yard.
Was that?
Yes.
Excuse me, sorry, I misstated that, so. Okay.
So it's just some direction the grant writer needs, if you guys want to pursue selling those lots.
Hmm.
Evelyn, did you have anything to add on that, please?
Well,
I'm waiting for Robbie to say,
Anybody have sense?
well, I haven't, but you're more, okay. I appreciate that, and I would have,
That's why I got it.
okay, please.
Evelyn Hogan, Lovington EDC. We're the reason why this is on the agenda. We have a couple of new businesses coming into town that are looking to have their mobile homes moved. And so when they came to us, we don't have much available. We have had these property for, I think, as long as I've been there. Yeah, and it's been 18 years, so it's just been sitting there. That was something that I mentioned to them. It's not the prettiest. That area is not the prettiest. There's a mobile home on the corner that's vacant and is abandoned. There's a squatter house. It's on that corner. It does have some businesses across the street. They're aware of that. We've taken them out there, let them see it. We have looked at the utilities. Out of these 7 lots, we have potentially buyers for all 6. We weren't actually counting on the 7th one, but we actually have buyers for 6 of them. So that's something that will spruce up that area, and potentially maybe the value, because like I said, it's not the prettiest. It needs help, just besides Mrs. Estella's house is probably the only one that's nice in that area. But I mean, this would add to it. It would add, and that's something that I can agree with, it going to be residential only. But like I said, we do have potentially to sell the 6, and they want them in 2s. So we have 3 owners that want them in 2s.
And they understand that there's nothing we can do about the trucks.
Absolutely, it's an as-is situation,
Okay.
They know where the utilities are. That's something we've been working on for probably about 6 months now, and
Yeah.
they are anxiously waiting on us to do something about it, that they're waiting.
When you say they want them in 2s, they're planning on putting 2 mobile homes, 1 on each lot.
No, so it would be 2 lots, the reasoning is because they have a double wide, they don't want it to face sideways, they actually want the both front door to face the street. So that's the reason they want to buy 2 lots at a time, so they have a big enough area to put a double wide.
So it'd be one home on
One
2
home, so it'd be
No.
3 homes on.
I understand, that's
Yeah.
the reason I'm asking the question, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so,
You said businesses. Is this just?
No,
business
so if their
owners?
employees are required to move to this area, but they
Okay.
wanna bring
That's
their
better,
homes
'cause
with them,
I'm like,
yes.
what, are they gonna throw stuff in the backyard?
No,
Okay.
no, so we've got one from, Oklahoma, 2 actually from Oklahoma, and it's from business that actually opened here. They're living out at their yard right now, and they haven't been able to move their mobile home, but it's a double wide mobile home that they're looking to put in these lots.
all right, so based on this information, then effectively, we are looking at selling 3 sets of double lots. And the 7th, we're gonna have to treat completely different, if that's the case.
But why do you need
Why do you need what?
I don't know how to put it, like, you're curtailing this to be for a certain person, and a bid should be open for anyone
It
who
will
needs
be.
a
It will be
process.
open to anyone, it's just we have guaranteed that we'll have to be at least 3 bidders for it.
That's all we're saying, is we
That's all
know
we're
we
saying.
have bidders.
We know we have people that want it, I mean, it's open.
We just
for-
need you guys
If you
to
sell
tell
it
us
in
how to.
twos, then you're knocking out a person that would want 1.
Well,
I do have people that want just one,
I was gonna say, we still have the other.
but they're individuals that call here and there, and a few calls have been made on it. But the other ones we know of, they're definitely waiting for this to happen.
You could put it in once and put it in, and they're gonna bid for 2,
Yeah.
and then, and it's up to you how you wanna do it.
And it's just like any other bid, it's the most advantageous to the city.
And we did, we reiterate, there's a business there,
Mhm.
don't wanna hear after the fact that truck is starting at 4 o'clock in the morning.
They're aware
You've
of
been
it.
there, yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
aware.
It got convoluted with all of that a lot, so, to be fair, and I understand Commissioner White's question, to be fair, we need to sell them by the lot,
Yes.
okay? And then they can bid, and effectively, as far as writing the RFP, if I was going to do that, then we can do all 7, and if somebody bids, simplicity here, $10,000 and they are the high bidder, then the other lots are available at $10,000. Whatever that dollar the highest, then anybody else can step up. If we don't sell all 7, then we go back and we do it again or whatever, so.
Don't we have to be at market value?
Well, I'm just saying, that was a hypothetical.
Yeah, I would imagine, and that does raise some other questions, because if you're the high bidder, does that then give you priority
Choice.
for the others?
I don't know, that's what,
It gets awfully difficult. And
I
the other
think- I
thing
would
is,
say
if I'm
hybrid.
bidding on number 1 and 2, and I'm $15,000, and you come in and bid 10,000 for lot 1, am I still obligated on lot 2? You know, it makes it extremely difficult. So, I don't think you're gonna have much variance, because we're talking about half a city block right there, so if one is appraised at a certain value, the others will probably appraise there also. But I think it's something that, we really need to think about, to put the bid together and say, if we're gonna say you have to bid on 2, or you can bid on 1, that there's some reason to back that up. And so anytime we sell a piece of property, it's usually because, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Jones says, hey, I'd really like to buy that. It comes to the city manager or somebody at the city, then we discuss it, here's what their plans are, we put it out to bid. And in the bid process, those are part of the things that, we can evaluate. It's a little bit different if you're just talking about a lot, but it does raise a number of issues of, if we're bidding them at 2, and maybe a couple real estate agents say that is the only way you're gonna get those lots sold, because people are looking for bigger homes, then it makes sense to do that. So it just depends on what information you have and how you take a look at it and see. I've not been made aware of anybody that's bid or had an interest in 1 versus 2, so I don't really know how that shakes out. But there's gotta be something that you're, relying on to support a package of 3 2s or 6 1s, so.
And I would say the bid needs to stay lot specific, so we don't run into the,
Yeah,
They're numbered, yeah.
I don't think we can
I
bid
bid
away,
15 over
Right.
10.
an option to buy 1 or all 6. If
Yeah.
they wanna bid on all 6, I think they just bid on all 6.
they just bid on all 6, yes.
Is there any restrictions that we could put on it? So if something doesn't happen within 18 months, I mean, it could revert back eventually? We just don't want it to sit there.
We
or
might have
someone
to
come
buy
your
it back,
yard,
but we can do that, yes.
Some type
Well,
of
when we
restriction.
give it at below appraisal value, that's when we have that clawback.
Mhm.
When we actually let it go for below market value, that's when we can do that clawback, because we have that on several other properties that we.
I understand. Okay. All right, so, I'm sorry, yes, sir.
No problem, Mr. Mayor. I had a question with the A&A situation in mind. Would the commissioners set a minimum bid restriction on these parcels?
But we did that after we bid it once and whatever, so. I mean, there's no way that tonight we're gonna be able to tell you, do it this way. So I would say that we've heard a lot, maybe come up with a couple of solutions that we can talk about.
Well, that would be the grant writer, because she's
That'd be
writing
Leslie.
it.
I know, I
Okay.
realize that, I realize that, so, but,
So are you saying like, bring us market value, let us discuss it again?
yeah, I mean, yeah, let's
Before
get a
they
little
write
more
the-
information and then we
Yeah.
can help with
National
the,
appraisal will know, and then, because,
Maybe we'll get all of them because
Yeah.
they have
well, that's what, yeah.
characteristics.
Yes,
And then
and
we
we've
mark it.
chatted about it, about when it comes with the pricing, that lot, each lot is not worth more than probably $5,000 to $6,000 a lot.
Just to be fair, the
Yeah,
A&A title loan building was appraised at 65,000, and I think it went for 25.
25, I understand, I do understand, so, okay.
Let me know. I mean,
Before I open it for public comment, is there anything else that we need to know at this point? Do you have enough to move forward?
do you want us to move forward with the appraisal and start putting together a couple of different packages for you to review? That's what we need to know tonight.
Okay. You know, you can't ask for an action item on a discussion.
Just
Does,
guidance.
but,
How about that, and then what the appraiser feels would sell better, a single or a double wide? Like a,
So safe to say we can consult with an appraiser first about what his thoughts are on all properties?
I think we need to know, I
a
think,
market,
a market analysis and at least give us a range that someone feels they're worth. Do you have anything further?
No, thank you.
All right. Ms. Garcia, it is your time to shine.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Nice to see new faces. Congratulations. I'm Estela Garcia, and I apologize for putting Maria. I've been doing that all day long. That's my formal name, so apologize for that.
Not a problem.
Okay. I've been sitting here and listening to what everybody wants. Everybody thinks that they need for our neighborhood. And on all fairness, you know, how about the residents of that neighborhood? That they should be taken in all fairness in you know, have an opinion. I mean, send a letter to them. It's our neighborhood. And now the problem with that, many years ago, when I moved there, I was the only one in that whole area, the only one. Only one house, it was mine. The intentions of Bob Carter and former manager, also Michael Layton, former manager, was to span out the need for homes. So my idea, it's a double wide actually. So I brought up the idea to the commission that why not bring in, it's a lot of property, let's bring in double wides and make this a nice community. There's ample room, everybody has an extra lot, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well what happened, and I want y'all to really consider this. While this was going through the process, there was one person that bought one of those sections, and he brought in he was gonna bring in a double wide. Oh, yeah, I'm bringing in double wide, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was all excited. At the last minute, he took his mobile home and put it on Second and Harrison. He went against what was planned there. There was 300, he put water tankers there. There was 300 and something tires stacked up all the way, and the environmental service department fined him on that, and it's been problems after problems. My neighbor, she in good faith, the other neighbor, they're doing such a beautiful job on their mobile homes, and that other neighbor, they're next to that trucking company. They were, my son was in safety in an oil field working for Devon, and that guy was venting on his truck, and the whole neighborhood just, you could almost pass out. And I think Commissioner Rodriguez knows a little bit about that, and maybe some other oil field people, but my son went over there and told him, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that here. But ever since then, get their trucks out there on the street and start, and I do realize this is commercial. But what keeps, everybody's saying, oh, well, let's do this, let's do that. I mean, hey, what about talking to your constituents? At one point, it would have been nice to avoid the whole problem and splitting and this and that and whatever. Why can't we have a small little park there? I mean, there's lots of children in that neighborhood now, and we've learned a lesson. My neighbor's birds died that were next to that trucking company. She had some exotic birds outside. When they were doing all that airing out those tanks, all those chemicals that were being sprayed on the ground, those birds all died. And I've spoken to my neighbors. They do not want, they do not want that. If it was, there is a need for homes, definitely. But what keeps somebody from doing the same thing again? I'm gonna buy 2 lots. I'm gonna put a double wide there, but this is only somebody that lives in a yard. I'm gonna park my tankers. So please consider this. We do not want this. I think it's only fair that a letter or something should be sent to the constituents of this district, which is District 1, Chavez, Adams, Eddy, and there's always children there. Someday I mentioned to Crystal, I said, when you get off of Commercial onto Madison, there is a bus stop right there, right as soon as you turn off of Commercial. And I thought you were gonna risk it. I was like, I was fixing to run. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, when the tanker turns off from Commercial, he's gotta get behind the bus stop. He's gotta get behind the bus stop, behind the bus. And half of his truck's sticking out on Commercial. So if anybody tries to come in there, and I think Commissioner Rodriguez has had a visual of that, where the children are getting off on an empty lot. But that's also a dangerous situation because of these tankers, because they're going down my street and going to the corner where they do have a company.
I know.
Now, you mentioned business.
Okay,
That's it.
I'm gonna slow you down. I'm gonna
sorry.
make this proposal. We're gonna put something together about how it's gonna be worded and everything else. Okay? And then we will endeavor to reach out to the constituents in your area and see if whatever we come up with is acceptable. And if not, we'll entertain thoughts. I would say anybody I know that you keep up with our agenda. So when you see it resurface, please invite individuals that you feel would tell them to come, and we will give them the ability to speak briefly on what they think.
I did mention that today. I did visit with them. I think there's a lot of intimidation there, and because of language barriers. But I know that y'all do offer interpreters, but I think they're from another country, and that's another country, and they feel that a little bit intimidation, but I think it would be better through mail if they could make an opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Do you have any
you.
more
We appreciate it.
Any questions? Sorry to phone.
No, you're good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Anyone else? Public comment. Mr. Boyce? Okay.
Yeah, Tim Boydston. I would like to make a suggestion that since there are commercial and residential all over this town, and it's mixed. I don't care where you go, it's all mixed. Why don't you guys rewrite the ordinance and have a section of resident and a section of commercial? Such as, like downtown's all commercial, correct? And there's a few homes in here that are grandfathered in. But to have, you know, tankers out here and everything else in the residential, put them somewhere where the residential can't see them, where they belong. Like on the south side of town, where they're starting to go. But rewrite the ordinance so that way, if you rewrite the ordinance and they sell the property, then it either goes, it's either gonna go commercial or it's gonna go residential. And then down the road, you're gonna have a section of town that's gonna get, that's like every other town. You'll have your commercial side and your residential side. And I think that would solve the whole big problem down the road. Unlike a few other ones, you know, you got tankers down here right off of Main Street with houses right next door to them. You know, and all that stuff. It's making this town look bad. If you look at it, it doesn't look very nice, especially for new people coming in. You know.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Okay, last chance. Moving on. All right. Brings us to our second item. Ms. Shannon, it is your time.
Yes, I'm bringing up the board appointments that still need to be addressed.
Okay.
We'd like to get them on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
And in the staff summary, there are the positions that need to be filled. Senior Citizens Board has 3 positions. And then also a city commissioner position on that board. So that's something for y'all to think about. If anyone's interested of the commissioners in serving on that board, just let me know. Just contact me. And I can resend the applications that I received from these board members, the ones that would like to serve. Most of them are reappointments. There's one, Mr. Gassman, he would be a new one. Parks and Rec Board, they also need a city commissioner to serve on that board. If y'all are interested, just let me know, just reach out to me. Library Board has 1 position open, that's a reappointment for Susie Bowden. Larger Tax Board, there's not an immediate need to move on that one, but we do have 2 people that want to take there's 2 vacancies on that board right now. And both of those people, I do have 2 people that would like to be on that board. I'm kind of waiting on their applications. One of them's new, one of them's a reappointment. So, yeah, if y'all are interested in serving, just let me know.
Okay. Are you going to give us the ones that are interested so that we can look them over before the next meeting?
Yes, I think I've sent them to you, but I'm gonna resend those to you as well. Yes.
A finalized version?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the 2 commissioners, that's mandated in these particular committees? Questions, Commissioner?
I have
Yes,
question.
Commissioner Ramos.
I was looking through the city codes, and this may be outdated, so I was just wondering, I only show that we have 4 boards, the Civil Defense Organization, Planning and Zoning, Library Board, and the Lee County Museum Board. Has that been updated? Or what boards, like,
I can send that to you.
Okay.
Bill.
please?
Yeah. Elizabeth.
Probably needs to be updated.
I was like, this doesn't
Yeah.
seem right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not even sure what what'd you say, civil defense?
Civil Defense Organization.
know.
I was like,
Okay.
what is that? Yeah.
I might volunteer for that one.
I didn't know what those were, so I was like, wait, what are these?
Chief's gonna be on it with me though. I need some backup. Alright. Any further questions? Okay, thank you. Alright, okay, brings us to our discussion of chickens in the city limits. Mr. Miranda. Oh, our favorite topic too.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, first I had a procedural question that maybe you can help me with, or maybe the city clerk can. I was contacted by a citizen by text today who wished she couldn't make it here in person. Are we allowed to allow comment via the live stream? I know during COVID, but I didn't know what to tell her. She had she wanted to express an opinion about this subject, but she couldn't be here in person, so I didn't know what to tell her.
Okay, my first question, do we have that
Capability.
ability? Yes.
So
Okay.
maybe just something to think about for the next time, but
Okay, as long as it, and she, I'm sure she's listening in, let's
I
keep
just
it,
didn't know if it violated anything with the Open Meetings Act about physical presence.
I'll have to look at it and see. One of my concerns is then that everybody out there in space can say, I wanna be on
I
here.
wanna be,
I wanna be on here. And so I think we need to take a look at maybe what the requirements are for public comment, that, if there's some reason that you can't be here, okay, but I don't know if just opening it up to, anybody out there that wants to, we could be here, and I guess I get paid hourly, so maybe that's a good thing. We should all pack the lunch. But I think it's something to take a look at.
since it's a discussion item today, I'm gonna say that she can submit her, comments or questions, rather than, I do agree, and this is something we probably, if it becomes, later on, if we need to decide this on action items, and, anyway.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
I would welcome her comments, and then we can pass them out,
Appreciate
because
it.
it's just a discussion item.
And the
anyways.
public comment ordinance does say you have to be a citizen or someone that has business within the city. You can't just be some random person in Ohio.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
well, and one of the things that we learned, in our training, from Molly was, we don't have to have public comments, so, I guess it comes down to, we're offering the courtesy, but it's gotta be reasonable, so.
Yes, sir, thank you. So, I appreciate Commissioner Perry for adding some input to this topic. What I've done is try to look at what other places have done, and what I found on this topic is that it varies widely by municipality. Let's look at our ordinance. Our current ordinance clearly states that keeping livestock and fowl prohibited, and fowl means turkeys, geese, guineas, chickens, birds, and pretty much everything else. It does make some exceptions for livestock. It allows for the miniature pot-bellied pigs as pets, no pig pens, however. So I looked at other municipalities. The city of Hobbs defines fowl to include chickens, turkeys, geese, ducks, and guineas. They set out specifications about how you're supposed to keep them, fence height, things like that. They are protected from neglect and abuse. And one thing the city manager told me just today, which I did not think, is that they limit it to 1 chicken or fowl in Hobbs. So that's interesting. Roswell, slightly different, acceptable poultry, they define that, but then they they give number limits, 4 female hens, chickens, hen turkeys or ducks, 10 pigeons, and so on. So there's a municipality that set guidelines. And it's also a municipality that says no rooster or male chickens mature enough to crow or otherwise disturb the peace shall be kept within the city, which I think has been a concern from what I've heard. And then again, the care of the poultry, access to potable water, et cetera, maintain them in good health. Something Commissioner Perry brought to my attention is Oklahoma City. They put a number of 6 chickens or quail in their backyard. Again, no roosters. They further specify about the care of these things and public, there's 2 things you gotta look at, safety and health. So no, any electrical heat source must comply with the city's building codes because it could cause a fire. And then they define space per animal. And interestingly, space away from neighbors' property. So that's good that they thought about the neighbors because that's where the problems are gonna be. Interesting, no permits or fees. Commissioner Perry had a good idea about, and I'll talk about it here. So I think the things we have to look at if we consider the ordinance are, what is the definition we're looking for? Is fowl too general? Is chicken too specific? I don't know if there's a need to have pigeons, quail, guinea hens, all that stuff. Should we look at excluding roosters? The key is gonna be setting the number you would want to allow, address safety concerns, heating the coops, wiring, et cetera, lamps, health concerns, cleanliness, smell, effect on the neighbors, so you define further the conditions which they may be kept. Permit, I think, is actually a good idea. It doesn't have to be a paid-for permit, but it's a requirement of the proposed ordinance that could state that chicken owners need to obtain a permit at City Hall. A record would be kept of who legally is allowed to own chickens, and the owner's agreement on record that they would abide by the conditions set by the city. Conversely, for residents without a permit and they have chickens would be an instant violation because we could check the records. Enforcement would be under the Animal Services Department. They would have the enforcement powers, and offenders would be cited into municipal court. I don't know if Laura Brock had any additional input, but she would be overseeing enforcement efforts. But that's pretty much, I know there's gonna be a lot of opinions on either side, but that's what I've been able to find out there. It ranges pretty widely, so.
Okay. In your opinion?
I was told once not to have.
Not to have one?
Thanks,
Okay.
my wife.
Do you feel the commission is open to having chickens?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe we could have a town hall and invite those interested to come up and discuss some of this. We can do it here, we can do it wherever we want to, over at the,
EDC,
yeah, well,
Troy Harris.
Troy Harris, thank you, whatever, and then get a little input, maybe combine all of this. First of all, I vote no pigeons. I have fought those for years, and I just really don't want to add any more. Sorry if someone likes pigeons, but
Would that have to be advertised, Mr. Mayor, the town hall?
a town hall, well, I think we should. I think it would be good to,
Pass, in other words, an ordinance to pass an okay. to
No,
advertise.
just a feedback type of thing.
yes, right,
You either
Okay.
write a new ordinance or
So
not.
kind of unofficial.
Yeah.
yes, and, get, I think one of the things that we've kind of defined is quantity, maybe specify that. I think gender is definitely gonna be something that needs to be,
Maybe make a survey of what you have there and have someone fill that out
Right.
and they come to the town hall and we can just make a little consensus of that and
Sure.
send it out in the water bill, like you did that one survey about the water conservation or something.
Okay. One question,
You know,
would that be a quorum issue if you're all there, or you're just there to receive information?
yes.
I think if they're all there.
Anytime or more than 30.
We just need to advertise in the paper.
it states.
No, but in
that's
terms
what
of being at the
we don't talk
meeting,
about
all
business.
5 of you,
Oh,
we
I
can be
understand.
there.
separate.
But we could announce it as a
I
meeting.
could run the meeting and be happy to take feedback, or maybe you could watch online or something, I could,
Mhm.
like you said, take, okay.
And you
Ask
can send out surveys in the water bill, you don't have to have it.
Ms. Hogan, do we have the ability to broadcast and receive over?
Yes, now we do, yes.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we have that ability.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Something
Did you have something? You kind of stuck.
I think Mr. Patrick has something.
Okay.
I guess, there's certainly some issues up there. A lot of them, and the three new people up there, you're gonna hear me say quite a bit that if we already have some kind of ordinance on the books, it doesn't make sense to put a new one out there. So if that chicken, and I think they're great, my wife and daughter has a bunch, they're great, but if you're not treating them properly, we do have, regulations on the book that can deal with that. If they're a nuisance to your neighbor, whether it's one chicken or 24 chickens, it's still gonna be something that we can address. I think the issue is gonna be, how do you define fowl? Female chickens, male chickens, guinea, whatever else is in there, but, they're chickens just like another pet. So I don't know, how deep you wanna get into it, but, the other thing is, the more rules and regulations and permits and everything else, we then have to have city personnel input the information in that permit, take the permit, do something with the permit, keep it, track it, and so just be careful we're not making more work for somebody. I don't know if we do that for somebody that wants to have an iguana or, a dog or anything else. So we already have a lot of rules on the books. I think we could just follow those.
Yeah.
If it becomes a problem, I think then we've got, a way to deal with it. And am I wrong?
Well, right now, none are.
I'm wrong?
No, you're
Oh,
not wrong. You're not
I didn't
wrong.
hear.
We do have, sorry, we have chickens that are allowed.
I understand we have
You're
an
not
ordinance
wrong.
about
You're
no
correct,
chickens,
sir.
but we're talking about, chickens.
Right now, it's zero tolerance, so to speak. I'm not saying how well it's been enforced, but there are issues. I hear roosters in my neighborhood.
I do.
Which I will agree, that's, inside the city limits, that's not something anybody wants to hear, so.
Okay. There's a lot, whatever, all right. Any further input from the commissioner? Yeah,
I
nobody-
just think we can't enforce what we have now, so we're not there yet. That's
We're
what
not there, but we're still, okay, at this moment, we're still holding fast that we're not enforcing, but we've got to move past that at some point, so.
I have,
All right,
that's what I'm.
any further comment from the commissioners? All right, any staff? Code enforcement jumped up, so I'm assuming she has something to say, and Ms. Brock, of course, if you have anything to add to this, and then I'll ask for public comment.
Mayor, Commission, Christina, Lopez with code enforcement. With all the chickens, now that it's not really being enforced, as we've been out doing code, we have seen 60 homes that have chickens and multiple chickens on their property, so I don't know what, there's 60 homes that have chickens within city limits that have chickens. Now that that's not being enforced, more people now they're taking down fences where you can see them. And it's all throughout town. So I guess like some of the questions, a couple of my coworkers were asking, if we all do pass like something where they can have chickens, what are we doing when the chickens get out and they're running through town? So those are just some concerns that they should. So that was just some of the things that I've noticed since we've been out more. More people are not having chickens inside the city.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have a question for her.
Oh,
One more.
Justine,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, come back.
I'm sorry. I do have a question.
Commissioner Rudder, go ahead.
Sorry. Question is you said there's 60 homes that you've seen that have chickens. What is the average, more or less, of amount of chickens that you've seen per household, per home?
Like 12 in one backyard. It just ranges just on different locations. Some have like only 4 or 5, some have 12, some have 20. It just depends on where they're at in the town. And then some of them have multiple roosters as well.
What's the condition of the property?
Some of them, we've had on Avenue A, there's a gentleman over there, his property, you couldn't see him because it had a lot of junk in there, but then when he cleaned it up, then that's when you can see the chickens on his property. And some of them, I've seen on Facebook where, they're looking for the chickens because they flew over their fence.
Are there
By-
any
by
you
the
can
school.
smell from, like, outside the property?
I don't think there's any that we've smelled, but we've not really stopped and smelling the chickens, we're just looking for code violations and doing that. But we've just seen a lot more chickens since we've been out a lot more.
Have you seen any chickens running around in any residential areas?
Lately, no.
But you have in the past?
Yes, in the past, yes. There's been chickens out by that church on Jefferson, over there, but there has been chickens out in the past.
Mr. Miranda, you alluded a few minutes ago that this would fall under animal control, or is this gonna fall in code, or both, combination? How are we?
Well,
I mean, we're jumping way down the line, but.
No, it's a very good question. It would be an overlap. I think technically the jurisdiction would be under Animal Protection Services, but as Justina just said, in their trips identifying code violations, they run into these. It's gonna require some communication by the two departments. That's not to say that code enforcement couldn't maybe cite them, but that gets into the weeds. I think it should be delineated which department, because you have to cite them, you have to go to court, you have to work with the homeowners, that kind of thing. But I think the policy needs to be pretty clearly written and then
I understand. Thank you, we appreciate it. Ms. Brock, I'm gonna ask you one question.
It is Jordan.
I'm sorry, I know that,
Animal
but
Protection
I'm
Services
sorry.
Director Laura Jordan, that's okay. The other
Especially-
day I introduced myself as Laura Brock. I was Brock for many, many years.
Oh,
One of the things that I am going to request is that I do talk to the Livestock Board about this issue also. So here, over the last year and the previous, prior to the new livestock people coming in here, we took in all livestock. They were taking it to the Lee County Fair and Rodeo. And then with all the diseases, things like that, they didn't want stray animals there with everything that was going on. They wanted to make sure everything was vaccinated. So the shelter is equipped to be able to take in livestock. So they started bringing everything to us. Well, the state didn't have ability to come and get it, so the state was allowing, we would coordinate with them, they would post it in the paper for their time frame, and after that, they would allow us to adopt it out. That is no longer taking place. Anything that is picked up, such recently the goat, we do not get to keep. The Livestock Board picks it up and immediately takes it for sale. So this is where it may pose a problem, is that we need to speak and find out whose jurisdiction this is going to be. If we are picking up chickens that are out running loose and impounding them, are we gonna dispose of them, or is the Livestock Board gonna come in and confiscate them from us?
Well, my question to you is, can you handle a chicken at your current facility? Because I've been there, and I would say no, would be my first. So I don't know yet what we would do, but you've further expanded that to where it may be out of our control anyway.
Correct, once it comes to impounding them.
Yes.
So right now, if we have a chicken here or there, we usually put it into what is now the recovery room, or we could put it in a crate. But are we set up? I had a phone call not too long ago where there was gonna be a confiscation, they were gonna confiscate around 80 chickens. There's absolutely, positively no way. And what a mayhem that would have been, and how are we gonna keep them contained with all the dogs at the shelter, and dogs love to eat chicken.
Was that a city property or county?
It was a county. So there are a couple of issues that I think that also need to be addressed with the Livestock Board that we should get on. If we're gonna consider them being in the city, then where's the jurisdiction gonna lie once they're impounded? Because I know the goat that was in the city, they took it. Everything that I've been getting that's livestock, they take it.
Okay.
No questions asked. I get no say. Okay,
Anything further?
that's it? You have any questions
No.
for me?
Questions for? Thank you.
Well,
And then also, if the livestock takes them, then also you have no way of tracking for the owners to tell them besides livestock took them.
That's
Correct.
all you can do.
Correct. Unless we come up with a tagging system, which like cows, goats, things like that, you tag them. You tag their ears, no different than the kids for the fair and things like that. So there are a little bit more in-depth things to think about.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any further comments, questions?
One thing.
Oh,
We're-
yes, sir.
We're kind of already doing a science experiment with chickens in town we're not enforcing. So as we go through this process, if it takes us 6 months to come up with an ordinance, we will really know what the problems are by having them or not having them. And so then we can sort them out at that time. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
Right now, it doesn't seem very straightforward. I mean, I will tell you.
The chickens, I don't think they're gonna bite anybody. I don't know, I don't think they carry any disease, I don't know. They might poop on my car and I might not be happy about it. We're already in the process of having some. If we just pay attention over the next couple months, then we'll figure out how many is too many. And we've already got rules on the books that if they're not being treated properly or they're running at large,
Cruelty, nuisance.
we can address them.
All kinds of things. Okay. Oh, thank you, Counselor. Appreciate it. Okay, hang on just a second. Any further comments from staff anywhere? Okay. I'm going to open it up to public comment. I'm going to restrict, please, 2 minutes or less, just because we're really wanting to get out of here and get everybody home while it's not horrible. So, anyway, you've heard all of you've heard what's before us. So, let's just try not to repeat the same thing. If you have something new, please. All right. You raise your hand, Ms. Garcia. You're welcome to come up.
Yes, Estelle Garcia, I just have a question. Aren't chickens, don't they attract foxes? And also, then we used to have a problem with that, so what about also like bird flu and stuff like that? Okay,
Thank you. I understand. Yes, sir. Mr. Woodston.
Getting up from here, killing me. Tim Boyson. I make a suggestion we have no fowl and no farm animals, period, in this town. One reason, in my neighborhood, I have chicken, and I have a rooster. I've been complaining about this rooster for about 5 years. It's still there.
You don't own a pellet?
Everybody knows where it's at. They know what house it is. It's still there. Nothing to be done about it.
Okay.
So, with that, and chickens do carry a lot of diseases. A lot of them. So, and we could have an epidemic in this city like no business if we start having a whole bunch of chickens in this place. And other fowl. But that's my suggestion, like do what quite a few other cities that do throughout the United States. Period. No fowl, no farm animals, and no exceptions in the city limits. And would solve the whole problem.
Okay.
Thank you very much, I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening, and I'm with you. I'd like to get home because it's, beer 30 right now.
I'm trying. Okay, I'm gonna go in order. Hang on. Ms. Connolly, you were the first one to sign up. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to let people.
No, that's okay. But I was gonna ask to come in behind Mr. Aguirre because I think he was initially the.
Absolutely.
So
You can offer the floor to him. Absolutely. Mr. Geary.
Good evening, my name is Joseph Geary, I'm a resident of Lovington. I'm here advocating for the keeping of chickens. But not just the keeping of chickens, the responsible keeping of chickens. Some of the current concerns I've heard while we were getting a petition signed were chickens getting out, getting in the streets, neighbors' houses, things like that. I think confinement would solve all of those problems. In New York City, the way they have it set up is they don't really have a set limit of chickens that you could have. They mostly have regulations on how you keep them, as far as square feet, keeping them confined where they can't get out and be a nuisance. And I think that would be kind of a fair solution in some instances. Here in Lovington, we have a lot of families. If you have 10 chickens this time of year, you're gonna be lucky to get 8 eggs a day. And for a family of 4, 8 eggs, you know, that's breakfast. But I'll leave the numbers up to you guys. I think the concern on disease, really the only concerns that I'm aware of, I've been keeping chickens for years, bird flu, and then of course mites and ticks. But bird flu can be contained. You know, there are national laws with keeping chickens, where if you detect any signs of bird flu, you have to cull your entire flock. And I think that is kind of what brings us to today, where a lot of people are just keeping chickens irregardless. Because back in 2020, not only did we have the shortages due to people panic buying, but then that was immediately followed by an epidemic of bird flu, and we had to cull over 300 million chickens. And then that sent egg prices soaring. If you were lucky enough to find them, they were $8.50 a dozen. So I think the real issue that a lot of people have with keeping chickens is just retaining the ability to provide for oneself. That's one of the biggest comments that I receive from both people that support having chickens and people that don't support having chickens, is since when did we have to ask permission to take care of ourselves? You know, I think that it does offer some self-reliance in a way. Not only, you know, with the eggs and the meat if you decide to have the meat, but also with your gardening. Plants don't grow without you know, vitamins and minerals, and manure is the best way to grow a garden. It's like HGH for your plants. Another concern that I had heard was
Quickly, sir, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm giving you a little bit of Joyce's time, but,
Okay, I apologize, I'll make it quick. Another concern I heard was gonna be with butchering chickens, things going down the drains. As far as butchering them goes, that's an outside procedure. The way I do it, you can do it inside, but the feathers get removed and go in the trash in one of two ways, either by plucking them or by peeling the entire skin off, and it goes in the trash. The only thing going down the drain would be, you know, blood when you rinse it, but it's no different than, you know, when you get a turkey or a chicken from the store, you wash it before you cook it. And I think that addresses a lot of the concerns. I think the biggest thing that we should really focus on would be the containment of them, because that seems to be the biggest nuisance, is what happens if they get out. You know, they will damage yards and stuff like that. So that's it. And if anyone has any questions, I'll go ahead and take them.
thank you, sir, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, before we move on, obviously, we're not gonna get it solved tonight, but, oh, yes, ma'am.
I'll try to talk fast.
You're
My
fine.
name is Joyce Conley. I am a resident, and I am impressed that it appears that there is an open mind, and most of the information that was given here, I concur with, because I did my own research, and there is a world of information. Lubbock, Odessa, Midland all have ordinances that allow chickens, and they're well written as along with these. Your ordinances or your rules can be as simple as you want or as complicated as you want. And I am in agreement with that they do need to be as simple as possible. I mean, you don't want to be out chasing chickens, but I also want to say that you're not going to have 50% 40% of Lovington residents going out and buying chickens. The raising chickens are not for the faint of heart. And I can tell you that from the last 2 days where we've had snow, where I've been out in my backyard, making sure water and so forth is there. But I think that there's a wealth of information, and I'm going to give this to Mr. Miranda. He may find it useful, he may not. It's all footnoted and everything, but a couple of points I would like to bring up is that in the United States, between 2018 and 2024, the number of U.S. households keeping backyard chickens nearly doubled, rising approximately 5.8 million to around 11 million, according to the American Pet Products Association. This trend was widely reported in outlets such as the Wall Street Journal and Axios, which attributed to the rise to factors like pandemic-driven food awareness and soaring egg prices. And has been research done as to the pros and cons, and the pros far outweigh the cons, and on the cons, the majority of the cons are related to the irresponsibility of the owners that do not take care of their business. And there's a lot of information here, and I want to make this as fast as possible because I know time is of the essence. But,
there will be another platform for you to...
I would like to make this point on a personal level, because there is a lot of research, is that I guess the question I have heard most often about this issue is, what about the people that do not take care of their chickens? Well, if I am responsible, if I exhibit responsible behavior and manage my chickens, why should I be punished for the irresponsible chicken owner that does not manage their chickens? And it is not an easy thing to get into these chickens. It takes some planning. You have to have the ability to take care of them. You have to have a place for them. It's not like you just jump off and start raising chickens unless you went out at Easter and bought a bunch of chickens for your kids and then you don't know what to do with them. But I really appreciate the fact that you seem to have an open mind about this. You want to have a town hall about it. And as I do want to make one point, because disease was mentioned, and chickens there can be an issue with that. But the research indicates that comes from the irresponsible caregiver of those chickens, not from the chickens themselves. It's not the chickens themselves.
Ms. Conlon, I'm sorry, we've exhausted the time, and I appreciate it very much.
I'll give it to you after.
All right. Mr. Miranda, are you clear as mud?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so am I. All
We'll
right.
set up that town hall and we can live broadcast it online, and
Okay.
we'll send out a survey and gather more information.
Sounds good. All right, I think I've exhausted the list. All right, with that, we are moving on to Commissioner White, discussion of RFP for health insurance.
I'm assuming this was brought over just so that you new commissioners could have a say in it. We took our property insurance out a couple years ago, saved tons of money, got way better coverage. We haven't searched for new health insurance since I've been here. So, it doesn't hurt to shop around, shop it out. We need to put the RFP out where they have about 90 days to get all the personnel information and everything so they can price it out and everything and come back with their report in our August. Where's Veronica? She's gone. I think August is when they renew. But
I was
anyways,
thinking it was like March.
or is it April? I'm thinking of a month. But we were talking about June and July, and then we could finalize and all that. So as soon as possible, here and there, they need to get that RFP out. If you guys would like them to, run it for the 90 days, and then everyone's gonna have time to review those packets, cause it's not gonna be a fast draw. It's a lot to read through.
Okay.
And, get that going.
Shannon may know. Miss Shannon, do you know when?
It expires June 30th.
Okay.
So it'd be
I
August.
couldn't
So
remember.
it renews every July 1st.
Okay.
They put it in line with the fiscal year.
Good, thank you. All right.
For the RFP, we need to have a
90 days.
basic lineup of all our people, like male age 30, these health problems, you know,
Demographic.
We need to have it out
demographic type stuff.
by the 1st of March.
Any guidance from the
I would say
commission?
February even, so they have a month to go through the packets.
Well, I'm giving 3 months
Okay.
to get whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
And that, I mean, they get to say too.
Any questions?
None.
Okay. Any public comment? Don't see. All right. Mr. Miranda, we had this on, you kind of were gonna take it off. Anything you wanna mention on the meters?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. It's pretty dry and stale, so I apologize, I'll try to be quick. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, City of Lovington has approximately 4,400 water meters to monitor water usage by utility customers. Some of these meters are approaching 20 years of life and many are beginning to fail. They comprise of at least 4 different models. In addition to the city moving away from the meter producer we previously used, those types of meters are no longer available for purchase. We have resorted to cannibalizing the existing old meters that are on the shelf to keep these old meters going. As you may know, we began a pilot program over a year ago with a new meter manufacturer. The new meters are purported to have excellent low flow and leak detection capabilities. To date, we have swapped out 186 meters for the new kind, mostly on our larger, high-volume commercial accounts where the meter diameter ranges from 2 to 6 inches. The mayor has asked me to capture some data from the residential meters, which are typically 3/4 or maybe 1 inch, to see how changing out new meters affected revenue from those meters. But we believe that the increased efficiencies of these high-volume meters are part of the reason we have seen water revenue rise for the city over the past year, at the same time that use has dropped. One place that the failing old meters are costing us is in the increasing number of dead meters. When a meter goes dead because the radio transmitter or the meter itself fails, a worker has to go out into the field, find the meter, sometimes unbury it in the can, and take a manual read. The process may take 20 or 30 minutes. If it is not fixed or replaced, then a worker has to go out every month thereafter. Also, manual reads are not a perfect science, as handwriting and decimal place errors can occur. The number of manual reads per month has risen to almost 500, when it really should be under 50. Between Mr. Sandoval, Mr. Perez, Mr. Betancourt, Mr. Fierro, and myself, we are proposing that the city, or at least that this City Commission considers making a bulk purchase of 2,000 of the new meters to be paid out of the general fund in which we have the money, rather than obtain a loan for this purchase. As a side note, we are still paying off a 2015 loan for the old meters, which are failing. The bulk purchase of the 2,000 meters would mean that over half our meters are now the new kind and would be of the same type. We would expect to see instant revenue increases as they are installed. Lastly, our Public Works Director, Robert Perez, has proposed that the Water Department would do the installations in-house, saving the city a lot of money not hiring a contractor, and knowing them, they could probably do it in less time. Therefore, I respectfully request the Commission's guidance if we are to put this item on the agenda for the next Commission meeting as an action item. I'm still waiting on some requested data from ResourceWise, and I will have a complete PowerPoint by that time so the Commission can make an educated decision.
Questions?
And Mr. Sandoval and Mr. Perez are here if you need them.
Do
More
you,
technical.
you asked for the next meeting, you believe that you'll have a PowerPoint and the information by that time, or do you wanna say maybe the 2nd in February? It's your,
It's the commission's call. I can have it by the next meeting if you wish.
I'd say, let's look at it the next meeting. We can have, we can put it as a item, we can put it as a, action item, and, if we don't, we can table it and move it to the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask for any other further comment I had. Okay. I'll ask for public comment, probably not gonna be any.
Are they gonna be digital then?
Yes, sir.
They're gonna be digital, or how are they gonna be?
Robert, yes, they're got the digital.
Would be digital?
I'll- Yeah, I'll do that.
Would be digital. You have them?
Yep.
And the battery life on them is what, 2 years?
Probably more, probably 5 years.
And they don't crack open and leak everywhere when they freeze.
I don't know about that.
And they don't have the radio transmitter on the lid, which gets run over in the alleys.
You guys wanna look at it?
Sure.
And we'll have it next time as well, and we'll have more information. I didn't want to mention the manufacturer or the cost at this meeting, but we can get more specific next time.
I get this fairly regular on this test. Mr. Perez, yes.
Yes,
You're just the, okay, gotcha. All right,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. All right,
Robert,
last-
I have a quick question. On the meters that are bought now from new homes, what's put on? That right there. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Robert, how fast are the old ones failing?
Pretty fast. I mean, we're getting to the point where we have JOW don't need 100 meters for parts. I think we're down to probably 25 meters for parts and everything else.
And that's a good point. I'll add that the reason JAL, well, besides always helping us when we need it, they're very good about that. The reason JAL is able to do that is because they switched to this type of meter and swapped out all 3,000 of them. And Van Merrick, who's the utilities director there, says the results were very favorable in terms of accuracy, reliability, and revenue increase.
And then the old meters that we have, we cannot get parts for them anymore. They're obsolete, so it's kind of one of the deals. We're gonna have to just make a decision. and do something.
Can they bring us jowls before and after on there?
I gotta see how detailed the study they did, I don't know. We have resource-wise, what, about 75, most of the residential customers, doing a year-over-year comparison, old meter versus new meter, but it takes a little while to pull the data. But-
I think you could bring us up the jowl revenue from this year.
Oh, the
last year.
revenue, for sure, yeah, that's.
All right.
Please get
Any
some.
further questions? All right, thank you, gentlemen.
You've been up all weekend.
Okay, brings us to our last discussion item. This is discussion of human resources position. I asked this to be put on there. The reason to inform the new commissioners, over the past couple of years, we have added new positions in the city. Typically historically in the past, the human resources position was assumed by the city secretary, and what did I say? I'm sorry, secretary.
You said secretary.
I did. I'm sorry, city clerk, and then we deviated from that. We have expanded the personnel in the city by several positions over the past 3 to 4 years. Some are revenue generating, some are not. And in discussions, we decided that, or excuse me, didn't decide. We talked about outsourcing this. This saves basically benefits and possibly, which para is a benefit to if we outsource it. One of the commissioners has some experience with this, and she can comment on that if she would like to. So we've given the city manager a couple of possible agencies that have this ability, and it is up to us if we want to instruct him to at least see what that would cost the city, look at the savings, or the increased cost of providing that based on a per incident or based on a per study. And I'm just gonna ask the commission if this is a direction that we want to ask him to move forward with. This would be just a comparison investigation at this time.
Like an analysis?
Yes.
I think it would be good to just, if we're reaching out for RFPs for health, we're trying to cut costs there. If there are other ways for us to save money, this might be a good option. Possibly, depending on the analysis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'll collect the information I can.
Okay, you can always reach out to any one of us and ask, or give us an idea of what would be encompassed in all of this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions by commissioners? Staff? Hearing none. And lastly, public comment. See no one moving. All right, moves us on to our action items. Floor will entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-006. Approve an advertisement of ordinance 614 water conservation.
Second.
No, I entertain, I'm looking for a motion.
Okay, make motion.
Sorry.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-006, approve advertisement of ordinance 614 water conservation. Conversation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this resolution. Mr. Miranda, do you wanna,
Yes,
is this
sir.
yours? I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I know we've heard about this quite a bit. This merely authorizes us to advertise this ordinance. At that time, after, I believe, 10 days, it would be 2 commission meetings from now. 14. We would have a public hearing. In the meantime, I would put this on Facebook to let the citizens know what all is involved. Again, this is not voting on the ordinance, it's just whether we should advertise it or not. And in the meantime, it's been assigned now, thanks to Crystal, a chapter and number, so it's enforceable. So just look for your guidance on that.
I have one quick question. I know we talked about this the last time. The way I understood it is, if you're on the odd side of the street, then you water on the odd days, is that correct?
Yeah. So, first of all, the time parameters, when this is in effect, would be from May 1st, ending September 30th of each calendar year.
Okay.
So, during that time, water, sprinkler, hose, watering is prohibited between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. However, off those hours, in other words, between 6 p.m. and 9 a.m. may occur Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, odd numbers. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, even numbers.
Okay, that's right.
Mondays, no watering. In the case of corner buildings having both odd and even address numbers or any other ambiguity, the address listed on the customer's account with the city's utility billing department shall control.
Okay, so it's days of the week is
It's days of the
determined.
week, yes, sir.
Okay, that was where I got it.
That way we don't get into.
Right, right. The address is odd or even, then the days defined with that is the way we did it.
Yes, sir, everybody
Okay.
gets 3 days a week,
3 days a week. Perfect.
watering between 6 p.m. and 9 a.m.
I understand. Okay. Sounds good. Questions, Commissioners?
No.
All right. Any further discussion, staff? Public comment? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes. Okay, floor will entertain, a motion for approval, resolution 2026-007.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-007, approve advertising ordinance 616, annexation of the Cone Edition as industrial zone.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Ms. Ball?
Yeah, so we have been asked by the majority property owner of the Cone Edition to annex this property into the city limits. He does own way over the majority of the property, so there's not an issue with the few people that own little bitty tiny lots in there. Would not own, even all of them together would not own enough to keep this from being legally annexed in. The reason he wants to annex in is just so they can get help with EDC in their business ventures. They would benefit the city by gross receipt tax increase. They do not want water or sewer services. They have all that on site. They do want to eventually be able to vacate some of the roads that are not used as roads in that area. But until we have the majority property owners, we can't take away a street if it gives one person access to their lot. We can't let them off. But also in the process of annexing this, I would be able to help them with that process of contacting owners and trying to get them to sell the property, just through mailings and things like that. So there's really, it would be industrial because it carries on from the industrial zone that is on that edge of town already. I really don't have much more on that, so if you have any questions,
Any negative impact to the city?
none that I know of.
Okay. Commissioner? No. All right. Further discussion, staff? Public comment? Ms. Colgeen?
EDC. We're the ones that were asking for the annexation. We have already begun the process with the state of New Mexico EDD. This company does qualify as manufacturing, distribution, and warehousing due to what the nature of what they do. They do have 16 employees now, and potentially within the next 5 years have up to 75 employees. You know, it was once upon a time Caprock Pipe and Supply. Now it's Caprock Tubular, still the same owners, Lionel Burns and several partners. They are bringing in quite a few employees that do not live here, that are gonna be moving into the area, but that's the reasoning. Yes, sir.
Sorry. No, go ahead. No, I asked this question at the last meeting. For GRT purposes, would this location be considered a point of sale?
Absolutely, because they were providing a service at their facility, so it does benefit GRTC.
So they'd be paying the 7% city
Absolutely.
tax?
Yes.
Is all that land in front of the park industrial? Facing D?
So, if you see on the map, where it's all the city limits and you see everything outlined in red, that's the Cone Edition. There's one little section that's another edition that's owned by somebody else, which already has, a yard out there. They have a trucking yard right there. It's an oil field yard. That's owned by somebody else, and they didn't have any comment on this when they were notified, so.
It was actually owned by Caprock. Caprock is the one that sold it to them.
Sold it to them, yeah.
Just asking because they're.
But then, yeah, we own, so the property right to the south of it, is, who owns that right there? Just to the south of that, just to the south of the Cone Edition. Cause our fields are just a little further south than that. Where our city limits goes out,
Ranger. and
Yeah.
Ranger.
Ranger owns that, that's right.
Yeah, so is Ranger industrial or commercial?
They're actually, they're commercial in the ETZ.
See, that's why I'm wondering, do we want industrial right next to our park? Because you can do certain
Our
things. in-
park is an industrial zone
But there's
with our
no-
wastewater.
But we don't have businesses there out of our control doing things that you can do in industrial that you can't do in commercial, is why I'm asking.
I mean, the only
We
use,
have a coffee
the only
shop.
thing right there is industrial use, I mean, there's no,
But it won't always be caprock tubulars when.
We're hoping they are, but, you know, that you're,
Things
I mean, you're
change.
right.
You're right, yeah.
Stuff
It's got a
does
20-year
change.
shelf life,
Mhm.
basically.
So, that's, currently, that's what, and they're looking to expand. I mean, they're doing a lot of work, they're actually turning down a lot of work, because they're not fully, equipped, I guess you can say, that lot has been vacant for over 10 years. And so the upgrades has been crazy, and that's one of the reasons why they're looking for local incentives and state incentives to be able to bring them up to par, so they would be a full service pipe company.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any further questions? Public comment? I see no one. All right, Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
No.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Understood. Okay. All right, we'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-008.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-008, variance approval for 3-foot front setback and no concrete driveway for 711 South 3rd Street.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Ms. Ball?
Yes. We have a variance request for a carport to have a 3-foot front setback instead of 5 feet, and to have no concrete driveway. As the requester for this carport is the owner of the mobile home, but not the owner of the property. They do have the permission from the owner of the property to place this carport on the property to protect their vehicle. The way the fence is located, it puts this small carport, and it is just a 10 by 15 carport for her one little car that she's putting on there. The way the fence is, there's no way to get that 5-foot setback without destroying the fence, and the fence is not her property, and the owner would prefer her not to destroy the fence. There is 24 feet between the property line and the back of the curb. This is an 80-foot right-of-way on 3rd Street. 3rd Street is not an arterial street. It's not heavily trafficked thoroughfare or nothing like that. So even if I did do ADA improvements on this road, I'd probably never use more than 60 feet of that right-of-way. Again, this is one of the issues where the front setback on carports is what we're always looking at variances for. We have granted these variants clear up to no setbacks in the front for carports, as long as there was plenty of easement area for us to grow and use ADA sidewalks and things like that. The owner, or the requester is here. The owner did sign all affidavits and did contact me, and he is in full support of the renter, the leasee, getting this carport put there to protect her vehicles.
I'm gonna ask a what if statement, and that is, let's just say we did use all 80 feet. What are our current requirements on sidewalks? What is the width? Do we require 4 feet, 5 feet?
It's a couple inches shy of 5 feet is ADA requirements.
Okay, all right.
And Jackson was built with the current required ADA sidewalks.
Right. Okay, and this passed through planning and zoning? This passed through
Yes, it did.
planning and zoning? All right. Only question I have. Any questions, commissioners?
No.
Okay, staff? No? Public comment? You said the owner is here.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, excuse me. You don't have to, you're welcome to come and say something, but if your case has been explained, it's not required.
I think Crystal did a good job.
Okay, all right, thank you, appreciate you being here. It's always helpful if you're here. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Mayor Roberts,
A little time to go first, you know I hate variances. Since we're not putting in a driveway, I hope you understand that somewhere down the road, this could affect your carport. As long as you understand that, then I'll vote yes. Okay?
Vote yes.
I do, yes.
Commissioner White?
I'm gonna say yes, and thank you for doing it the right way and not starting and then coming and asking for forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Romano?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
All right, this brings us to, the floor entertains a motion for approval of Resolution 2026-009. I don't know that it reappoints, because I don't know that we've ever done this, but we're gonna go with reappoint City Manager David Miranda as the manager of the City of Lovington.
So I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-009, reappoint city manager David Miranda.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the reappointment of Mr. Miranda. Any discussion? Any comment from staff? Public comment? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Romano?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay, and floor will entertain a motion for approval of resolution 2026-010.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-010, reappoint city treasurer Ed Fierro.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Comment from staff? Public comment? And again, I don't know that reappointment is the right word, and I'm assuming, Mr. Miranda, you have informed Mr. Fio.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Shannon?
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Romano?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. Okay, for entertain a motion on, for motion for approval, resolution 2026-011.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-011, reappoint police chief Joe Clark.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Oh, and that should state as, you will represent as the police. Your position will, as you occupy it.
Reappoint Joe Clark as police chief.
Yes,
I don't know.
I know this is the first time we've had to do this. We're learning as we go. I'm sorry.
New statutes.
That's right. Any discussion? Hearing none. Any comment from staff? Public comment? Okay, Shannon?
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Commissioner Romano?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Okay, for entertaining a motion of approval for resolution 2026-012.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-012, reappoint Shannon Lester as city clerk of Lovington.
I second.
How about that?
We have a motion and a second for, to reappoint Ms. Lester. Any discussion? Any comment from staff? Any public comment? Okay, Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Romano?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Shannon, appreciate that. All right, we'll entertain a motion to approve accounts payable.
I'd like to make a motion for approval of accounts payable.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I did send an email out last week trying to explain some of what I thought might be questioned expenses, but I'd be happy to try to answer any additional questions.
Okay. Questions? I see no one have anything. I'm assuming there's probably no comment from anyone, so we're just gonna move forward. This is one of those. Ms. Shannon?
Mayor Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Romano?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
With that, the items of the agenda are exhausted. We are adjourned. Thank y'all. Be safe going home.